Okay, so before we get started, I really do want to give you an opportunity to really understand where we are in the process and what's going to happen moving forward, even beyond this questionnaire. So you've already completed step one at this point, where you've seen an initial presentation of our BHD products and services and objectives. At least it was an overview. We're actually going to go back over that one more time, a little bit more in a little bit more detail, because we know it's a lot of information to try to grasp at one time. So in this part of the process where you're going to the questionnaire, these videos are going to help you kind of refresh your memory in terms of knowing what it is that these questions are actually pertaining to and why we're asking them for the most part. So after this part of the process, of course, you have a one-on-one consultation. And then step three is when we'll take that information, we will bring it back to our team, and we will all pretty much, study your circumstances and put together a package of solutions, okay, to come and present to you in step four, which will be the proposal, okay, which is the tailored package of solutions along with the benefits and the cost of that package. So you get pricing and everything, of course, in step four, once we know exactly what it is that we need to do for you to get your business to the next level. And of course, step five is implementation. Section A, competitive electric and gas. Now, the reason why I'm glad that we're actually doing this video is because a lot of times people think that they understand what we do as that relates to competitive electric and gas pricing, and sometimes they don't. So this is going to clear it up for you. Number one, we consult and broker the deal for the lowest utility rate in any deregulated state for gas and electric. And let me explain a little bit about what that means. This is not to be confused with an energy provider coming to your business and trying to lower your rate and offering that one price to lower your rate. BHD has a broker type position to where we can actually get you competitive pricing from pretty much all of the providers that's in your area. Okay, so that can be 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different providers. Now, the Pepco or whatever your LDC is, they can't necessarily do that. In fact, they can't do that because that's not what they do. And if a company comes to you and tries to lower your rate straight off the street, and they represent one company, like say it could be Washington Gas or Direct Energy or whatever, they can only give you their best pricing, but not a competitive price for the market. Okay, so that's a very unique thing that we're able to do that a lot of people don't understand. It's a great thing. We can also do things like aggregate deals, as to where if you own more than one location, let's say you own IHOP or something like that, maybe you have 4 or 5 different locations within the state. What we can oftentimes do is put together an aggregate deal where you're going to combine all of your electric and all of your gas consumption, okay, and we get you the best deal based off of the amount of usage. And then what happens is the competitive aspect comes into play, because companies are going to want to deal with you when you have a lot of energy usage. And that's pretty much what drives the best pricing, is the more volume of energy usage that you have, the more competitive pricing you can get, and that is what we can bring to the table. We also will do contract review and consultation of the appropriate terms, because there are different terms that can apply, and some of them will make sense for you and some of them may not, and that's where we also bring in our expertise. Okay, so this is a really great way. It's a very superficial approach for the most part at reducing your costs. And as you may know, your energy cost, energy expense when you have a storefront business is usually about 30% of the cost, of your utility. So this is a very, very awesome program that we have, and it's something I would definitely take advantage of if you have, a restaurant or you have a laundromat or something like that that's really taking up a lot of energy. So definitely, either way, answer these questions as best you can if they apply, if you actually have a storefront type business. Last but not least, we'll also we'll negotiate on the client's behalf for the lowest rates. Well, we pretty much covered that. And then we'll completely manage and negotiate all of the entire electric and gas rate procurements for the company moving forward, should you want us to continue to do so. Okay? So this is a great program, and I encourage you that if you do have a storefront, you're definitely going to want to take advantage of that. . Section B, auditing. Now, This is another really, really great sort of superficial approach, without requiring you to actually go in and change something in terms of infrastructure or install equipment. You can actually use this, and this is honestly where we like to start for a storefront business. We like to start and do the audits, because the audits give us the ability to kind of like figure out where you are and clean the slate. Now, here's the thing: 70 to 80% of businesses actually are overcharged for their utilities. Most people don't know that. And a lot of times people confuse even the audits sometimes with competitive pricing and so forth. Well, auditing is just that. Now, this is why this is so valuable to you. This is valuable to you because I want you to understand that the gas, the electric company, water company, they're not going to audit themselves to give you, any reduced pricing. They're not going to go back 2 and 3 years to figure out where they made a mistake. It's just not going to happen. There's no law that requires them to do so if they've made a mistake. What normally happens is you just end up losing that money. Well, not in the case with BHG. What we're able to do is go back anywhere from 3 to 4 years. It really does depend on the provider that we're using or working with to kind of bring this to you. But we can go back 3 to 4 years and see where you are if you've been overcharged. Now, don't take this lightly, because there are many companies that literally get, 5-figure numbers in return for being overcharged. That happens quite a bit. I mean, companies can get as much as $30,000 to $40,000 depending on what their consumption was, and of course how much they was overcharged. So we can do that for a number of utilities. This does not cost you anything ever. This is a part of the program. I would encourage you to take advantage of it. We can do this for gas, for electric, for water, for sewage. We can do it for your telecom, for your shipping expenses, and your merchant services. Okay, so this is a very powerful feature that we have that's a part of our program that you're going to benefit from, especially if you have a storefront property and, of course, you're using any of these types of utilities or have these types of expenses. Section C, tax incentives. Cost segregation, property tax, energy impact, hiring incentives, workers' comp, R&D tax credits. These are all things and tax incentives that really, for the most part, apply if you have a brick and mortar type company. Now, it's possible for you to have employees and not necessarily have a brick and mortar type of establishment, but that's usually not the case. So this probably will not apply to you if you have a brick and mortar. If you don't have a brick and mortar type business. Now, anywhere from property taxes and the energy impact. These are all different tax incentives that we can go in length about, but we won't do that here. But these different tax incentives will apply to you if you have a brick and mortar business. So without getting too much involved in that, for most folks, this will not apply to them. But if you do, definitely, answer the questions in the tax section, and we'll go from there in terms of assessing whether or not this is appropriate for you. Okay? Thank you. Section D, business funding solutions. Now, our business funding strategy, I think, is actually awesome, if I can say so myself. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times people are going, and by people also I do mean business owners, they want to acquire funding for their business, and they may go to the bank. And of course, as most folks know, the bank does not do too much lending these days. Okay? Now, they will, but the requirements and the underwriting requirements, I should say, are very stringent. Now, in our business funding strategy, what we have is a phenomenal program. And what we do is we not only basically see about getting you funding, of course, through a business loan, but we also offer a multi-pronged approach by offering you a business credit building program. Business credit is one of the most misunderstood, I would say, entities out there in terms of funding strategies. Why? Well, only about 4% of businesses actually have business credit. Business credit is huge, and it doesn't take a lot to necessarily acquire it, but there are some requirements that if you don't meet them to the T, okay, you will not be able to take advantage of the full power of business credit. And what we do is we offer a two-pronged approach in showing you how to build your business credit using a very comprehensive software that we use, okay, that you will have access to as well. In addition to that, We also work with some other business lenders that can bring some other things to the table and see about getting you money in that route as well. But we definitely encourage our clients to do both, okay? Because having a revolving line of credit and having access to $50,000, $60,000, or even $100,000 or $250,000 in credit, and you can liquidate that when you need to, okay, is awesome. All right. So by all means, definitely answer the questions that pertain to the business funding strategy. I don't care where you are in your business when you actually go through this questionnaire. This is something you definitely want to take a look at, okay? Especially if you're a startup. Now, if you've been in business a little longer, it's actually a little bit easier in certain ways, but it doesn't matter. And really, when I say if you've been in business longer, that pertains even more so to business loans. But for business credit, okay, and credit lines, this is something that you can actually do as a startup that I think is a great alternative to trying to find money through investors and so forth. You can actually fund yourself, okay? So definitely go through those questions and answer them to the best of your ability. Section E, transformation coaching. Now, with our transformation coaching, we have something we call the X Factor. Now, this is only really one of our programs. We can tailor a program for you. Okay, if you just need regular life coaching, we can do that. I am a certified life coach, so I'm qualified to be able to assist you with what's creating a program specifically for you. And we can talk about that if that should be your need. But we do have a program put together, and this is a program that's been awesome. We've been working with certain companies now that's wanting us to train their entire teams. As you can see here on the screen, we're able to increase your overall sales by double-digit gains, increase your rep sales by up to 400% or more. In fact, our last client got over 600% increase in his sales. Okay, we can decrease your turnover by as much as 50% and develop superstars virtually at will. Now, if you haven't noticed, this is actually a little bit more pertaining to those that are in MLMs, but it doesn't really matter. We can devise a program for your company as well. And what you come out with this, because this is really this is a really kind of focused program. I mean, this is focused on you as the business owner. You're going to come out with a better focus, a crystal clear goal setting, more accountability for what it is that you're doing, and knowing what you should be accountable for. Fruitful brainstorming is another thing that comes out of this, especially if we were to do a group coaching session. Personal development. Your business experience is definitely going to change because you're going to be doing business in a different way. And of course, last but not least, more profitability. So whether or not you're home based, whether or not you have a storefront or you're in an MLM, I definitely would like for you to answer those questions and see whether or not anything in there is applicable for you, so we can look at if we need to devise a program to help you increase your sales, okay? And of course, increase your profit. So section F, which is BHD Marketing Solutions. Now, our marketing solutions is a fairly new part of our program, which I'm extremely excited about. Again, this is for mainly storefronts. This is for folks that are in restaurants, carryouts, nail shops, salons, any type of business services. It doesn't really truly matter. We can actually tailor a marketing solution for you. We can get you into as many as 10,000 target marketed homes, residential, folks that actually use coupons, folks. This is your middle to upper middle class market. And these are the people, if you didn't know, who actually will take those coupons and use them. We use something called billboard, advertising, where we literally have a 12 by 9 billboard that gets sent, and that's inches, by the way. They get sent to the mailbox. Awesome program. Highly effective. If you're looking for a really good ROI, this is a good way to approach it, because if you think about it, even if you just get let's say you get a 2% conversion, sending out to 10,000 people, and your product is only, let's say you only make $10 per product, with just $2,000 minus your cost. Now, I'm not going to get into cost here, but I can tell you right now, it's at a fraction of what it would cost you to be able to do this on your own. And then we have a presentation that we do that's really specifically all about this, and we're actually building on this program. We can also actually get websites and stuff designed for you. As one of our providers, he's a guy on our team who has the #1 website design website in the DMV. That's how he's ranked. So if you have those types of needs, definitely by all means answer the questions about the website, answer the questions about the marketing solutions. All right. Lifestyle Planning A. Now, Lifestyle Planning A, we deal more with your personal finance and where you are. Some folks that are in business, they're running their business, and then they may not have, say, maybe good credit, or they may not have good management skills to begin with in terms of their finances, or maybe have debts, personal debts that don't necessarily apply to the business. When you're a business owner, one thing we definitely know ourselves, and we definitely have learned in the marketplace, is that it can be difficult. I'll say it can be difficult to figure out how to make these two worlds work together. And honestly, we think they're really connected, because if you don't have a really good hold on how to manage your own money, or you really just don't have tools in place to help you to, optimize on the expenses that you have at home, then you probably don't have the same type of situation in your business. And of course, when your home is kind of broken and things are not working well there, your business is going to suffer. And that's why one thing I really love about our program is we deal with the business owner, as a small company, and understanding that you're doing a lot of this thing and wearing 50 million hats all by yourself. Okay, so things can fall apart, and you may not have been falling apart before you even got to your business. So we're going to try to help you fix that as well, if that's necessary. We do have software that we can provide that makes this absolutely awesome and easy to do, as well as debt consolidation programs or even debt management programs that we can offer you. So definitely answer this part of the question for your personal finance in Lifestyle Planning A. Section H, Lifestyle Planning B. Now, before I start this video, I really want you to understand how powerful this program actually is. Now, you do need to understand that what we're able to offer you through this program is a program that was created by Shante Broadus with her lifestyle programming, which is basically for folks that are in business, and you don't have to necessarily be in business, but this retirement package that she set up and the way that she's done it is extremely interesting. And I've seen different retirement packages in my time, but this lifestyle planning is a program that she has that you can't even just come off the street and get. You have to be invited into this program. Now, through our dealings with Ms. Broadus, we've been able to negotiate so that she's allowing us to be able to offer this program through BHD. So if you do nothing else, take a look at this video. And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen anything like this before, you're definitely going to want to answer the questions that pertain to this section, regardless of where you are in your business, or even if you're a startup. This is absolutely what it's all about. Okay, so I just want to encourage you to definitely take a look at this little quick video. It's only about a minute and a half or so, and fill out the questions for this section for sure. Okay, all right.
Meet Billy and Johnny. Both men have flourishing businesses, wonderful families, and both lead a very comfortable lifestyle. Billy and his wife sit down with a licensed lifestyle planning consultant and discuss some of the benefits, which include tax shelters, available funds for emergencies, and a built-in retirement plan using only a portion of their discretionary money. Johnny and his family enjoy the ride and continue to live a great lifestyle on the success of his business for the next 5 years. After 5 years, Johnny and Billy both begin to experience financial challenges in their businesses. Billy calls up his lifestyle consultant and discusses what options are available to overcome the challenges in his business and ways to maintain his current lifestyle. Johnny has no out and begins to feel the full pressures of his business's financial issues. Billy pulls funds from the lifestyle planning vehicle without tax penalties, which allows him to maintain his current lifestyle and easily overcome business challenges and expand his business. Meanwhile, Johnny has to restructure his lifestyle, sell off assets, and try to hold on to his sinking business with no retirement plan in place for his later years. Johnny continues enjoying his lifestyle, expands his business, and enjoys his retirement income, while Billy has to continue working, struggling to make ends meet, with no source of retirement income. What's your plan? Contact a lifestyle planning consultant and get started protecting your financial future today.
Okay, well, that's it. That concludes our presentation here and our overview of our services, and kind of to refresh your memories of what you may have already seen in the presentation that preceded this. I thank you, and I look forward to working for you in our one-on-one consultation. Take care. God bless.